This is Colonel Mustard of the United States military, and he currently is in possession of much needed supplies during Desert Shield. He needs to deliver these hand grenades, munitions, and weapons to the soldiers fighting in the desert, but he's gonna need some soldiers to do so.
Heck yeah, boys. Plenty of men for the job to deliver some peanut butter to the boys on the front lines.
But something nefarious is afoot. Unbeknownst to the US military, an insurgent was spying on them, and he was foaming at the mouth, seeing the amount of supplies that him and his troopers could get a hold of. So he continued to watch and figured out the supposed route that the military convoy would be taking. And that's what we're going to be building today, boys. A Lego US military convoy ambush. And it should be incredible. So hit the like button, subscribe, and stay till the end for our giveaway. Now let's get into this thing. The insurgent returns to their base camp with news of what they've found out. He explains it to his comrade, who agrees they need to start an ambush plan immediately, and it's going to be on the desert road. So why don't we go ahead and start building that desert road? So first things first, we're gonna start off with our 3 street plates right here. I'm gonna put these somewhat in the back, and now we are going to spread out a bunch of sand and brown tiles across the front of the plate here, and then maybe have a little bit like spilling onto the road so it looks like a very dusty, not very traveled desert road. So I'm gonna do that now. There we go! We've got the sand dunes in the front here. Now, for the back little bit over here behind the road, I actually want to put some mountains back here, since obviously there's a lot of mountainous regions in this particular desert, and I think it would just look kind of cool to have a backdrop over here and then the ambushers over here. And there we go. I think the mountains actually look pretty nice back here beyond the road, but I do want to add some more sand dunes over here so that our insurgents have good positions to hide out before striking the convoy. And I've got some camo sandbags for them to use, and I'm also going to build up the sand dunes over here. So let me do that.
5 minutes later.
Alright, I think this turned out actually quite nicely here. We've got one major sandbag wall here, and it's very camouflaged in to the ground, so I don't think it'll be noticeable. We got a nice sand dune over here that they can hide behind, and another bit more hodgepodge sandbag wall over here. And on the cliff walls, I did add some sandbags stacked up over here on an overhang, so that way a few troopers can hide up there and ambush down below.
Whoa, very nice.
Now, we need our troopers that are actually going to be doing the ambushing. Okay, so our insurgents here are going to be a bit of variety. They're gonna have various uniforms and armors and stuff like that, because it will be sort of a militant insurgent group that's not well funded or anything like that. So this is actually a Russian from the Indiana Jones set, but we've given him a tactical vest. Another Indiana Jones Wehrmacht soldier here, but he does have a ski mask going on the front of him there. We've got an outlaw trooper here with the turban on the top of his head, Indiana Jones body with a beret and tactical vest. It's actually really easy to make like kind of good looking insurgents. This is a British soldier uniform, but it works really well for the desert, obviously. He's got a nice little bandolier and hat. Some more sort of variety fighters here, and a lot of insurgents actually fight with vintage weapons and armor because it's cheaper to purchase surplus than buy new weapons. And a lot of the surplus is actually gifted and things like that from foreign adversaries. So kind of makes sense, but those are insurgents. Let me go ahead and equip these guys with some weapons now. Also, I realized this one dude had just a yellow head, so I replaced it with a tan one. Need everyone to match. But these guys now have Molotov cocktails, melee weapons, a whole bunch of AKs, some standard rifles, dual molded RPGs. They are fairly kitted out here, ready to ambush. But what are they ambushing? Well, some military vehicles. Now, sadly, there will be no M1 Abrams on the convoy. And the reason for that, it has already been tracked and is in need of repairs. Press F to pay respects, boys. But we do have some other vehicles. Firstly, we've got our tactical Humvee right here, which has LMGs on doors, as well as one very large 50 cal HMG at the very top right here. And this is where all of the supplies are being kept in these crates here. in the back loading bay area here, and there's also an LMG up top this way to protect the rear of this thing. And we've already got our security driver in there. What's up, gamers? I'm here to tell you about Instant Gaming. Instant Gaming is an amazing place where you can get some fire deals on all sorts of video games. Seriously, it's like 60 to 95% off, as you can see here. These are all of the Star Wars titles they have. They literally have every Star Wars title. You can also get XCOM here, Men of War Assault Squad 2, all of the games I play on the channel you can buy here for extremely cheap prices. If you use my affiliate link in the description, it helps me out a ton. So thank you guys for listening to this sponsorship, and thank you to Instant Gaming for continuing to sponsor the channel. One vehicle's not really a convoy, so let's put this at the head of the convoy here and get our second vehicle, which will be this armored personnel carrier Striker right here. And instead of carrying personnel, it will be carrying more supplies today. This Bad Larry features a very large tank gun at the top, as well as a light machine gun on the side right here. Now let's line up our US forces. Alright, so we've got a wide variety of troopers here with a wide variety of weapons. We've got a lot of assault rifles, gas mask troopers, which is kind of fun, some heavier weapons as well. We've got a variety of units such as US Army troopers. We've got a few Marines involved, Navy SEALs. Very eclectic, but it's kind of fun. We also have some of the working attachment weapons, which I always think are super cool to include. Two of them right here, more standard soldiers, and then a trooper here with an M2 Law rocket launcher. So again, quite a bit of variety for both sides, which I think makes for a very fun and dynamic mock. Now let's get them set up. Firstly, we need to incorporate the ambush aspect of the mock, and that's obviously going to happen with the front Humvee here. I'd like to have the Colonel up in the HMG here, and he's going to be facing out in the desert as if responding to something about to unleash some fire. And I'd like it to be this Molotov trooper here who is going to be running and screaming on in above this sand dune right here and about to throw the molly at this boy. But that's more of a distraction than anything, because up in the mountainside here, we will have our dual molded RPG firing up. So this guy here will be who is truly taking out the front of the convoy. And what's kind of cool is you can actually pop open the engine of the front Humvee here. So we'll go ahead and do that as if it's been hit by an RPG and sort of exploded, and we'll need to add a bunch of fire in here. There we go. Now we got flames essentially shooting everywhere out of this hood. Pretty nice. We're also going to put a second AK soldier up in the mountains here to support the RPG trooper, and in response, we're going to throw another US Army soldier here who has noticed the guys up here now that the RPG has been fired and is taking on that AK trooper. Now for the Striker over here, I'm actually going to open up the top hatch, which is very difficult to do without breaking it somehow, as you can see. There we go. Slight repairs have been done. We're going to have this trooper as the tank commander, and he's essentially going to be peeking out here and seeing what the heck's going on, because obviously the convoy has stopped at this point. We're also going to go ahead and lower the APC's back hatch over here and have a soldier poking his head out ready to attack. And others are going to already be attacking over here, but let's set up the insurgents first. We're gonna have one with an AK behind these sandbags over here, and then a second with an old rifle firing from behind this sand dune. They'll have clipped this soldier who ran out a little too fast, but the US Army trooper next to him is gonna be able to get some fire out as well. And he will have successfully killed this insurgent right here between the other two. Now, we also have our US rocket trooper right here, who is going to be firing at these sandbags danger close, where we have our Bandolier AK-47 trooper returning fire alongside the other riflemen over this way. Now we have our final two US Army soldiers right here. One is a Navy SEAL actually, and the other is a US Marine. We're gonna have the US Marine on the ground already over here, presumably having been wounded. With his strength depleted, he's not able to carry his heavy machine gun anymore, so he's drawn his pistol to try and help take out the Molotov thrower. And for the Navy SEAL, we're gonna have him running into the combat from the back of the storage area over here as reinforcements for the other troopers getting ambushed currently. I think for action sequences, this looks fantastic. But I want to include a little bit more detailing throughout the battlefield, including like random discarded weapons throughout, as if this has been a long-term battlefield with rusted weapons everywhere and stuff like that. I also want to add a little bit more fire to the map, as if some explosions have gone off, and maybe a little bit more foliage. So let's time-lapse that. Well boys, there we have it. Some more detailing in the mock overall. We've got some fires spreading as if this Molotov cocktail accidentally started burning everything around this guy at the sandbag. Maybe due to an HE shell from this imploding nearby. I added some like discarded fuel barrels and some skeletons to the mock, as well as some dead plants and trees and stuff. Kind of give it a bit more of like a deserty vibe, I guess. And some other flames in different areas too, just as if some twigs or something lit up from all the fire going on, or I don't know, something like that. But either way guys, that is our ambush mock here. I do think it turned out pretty good. I really think this was a decent desert ambush mock right here. Let me know what you guys think, but let's get into the giveaway. For today's giveaway, we are going to be giving away this LEGO World War II custom German soldier from BrickTactical.com with a Kar 98K included. All you gotta do to enter in to win is comment down below what is the next mock I should build on the channel, and hit the like button and subscribe, and you will be entered in to win the giveaway. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I'll see y'all on the next one. Peace!